remarks.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate the panel staying and the chairman allowing the indulgence. But just a couple follow-up questions. First, Dr. Mori-Arasso, the ranking member asked you why you didn't sign the compliance statement when you turned over your email documents. I have your letter, which you provided earlier, and then I have the statement, which isn't here. And there are two things I want to draw to your attention. The statement that you didn't sign. This is what the statement asked you to sign. There's the introductory paragraph about who you are and who you asked and by the Inspector General to fill out some stuff. So fine. Then so the next sentence, in good faith, I have made a diligent search of all the records and communications, and you sort of say that in your letter. Then you say the next thing in the section of the document you didn't sign asked you to affirm that your methodology to collect email records included conducting a search, personal email, which is such, and you use the following search term: Jason Zuckerman, Peter Broda, et cetera, et cetera. And your document that you did draft, or your counsel drafted for you and that you signed, said that you searched the names that the IG had requested. So far, so good. Then the next paragraph of the document you didn't sign says, I also developed the additional search terms based upon my review in order to make sure my search included the full scope of email communications pertaining to official CSB matters. And there's places where you could have filled in the blank for additional search terms. Now, your letter didn't speak to that. Did you use any other search terms other than the names that were given to you by the IG?
I use, I think there was a long list, more than 1 page long. I cannot tell you each one of them, but you know, there was a number of search terms that were used.
No, there weren't.
And as a matter of fact, I passed.
I'll read them to you. And again, I'm not trying to trick you.
Yes.
Just, the search terms were Jason Zuckerman, Peter Broda, Daniel Horowitz, Christopher Warner, Office of Special Counsel, OSC, SC, and Special Counsel. So I guess the question is, in the next paragraph of the document you didn't sign, there was an opportunity to disclose other search terms that you might have used in looking for the documents. Did you use any search terms other than those I've just read to you in searching your documents?
I might have. I mean, what happens is that when we use those terms, we drew a blank. This is working with my chief information officer in my computer. So we'll start using, well, let's put some other terms to see what the IG is trying to find.
When you searched those terms, you drew blanks? In your private email?
The ones that you have in there, some of them, yes, I drew blanks.
Okay, all right, well, that's interesting.
I mean, for my Gmail, in which, for instance, when I put CSB,
yeah,
we'll call it blank. When I put Zuckerman, it drew a blank.
Okay.
So, you know, it was, I wanted to be responsive, you know.
All right. The last paragraph says, the materials provided EPA are genuine, complete, and you say that in your document. This is the last substantive sentence of the document you didn't sign. I took no intentional action to destroy, delete, or remove any official CSB email communication in my possession. That's missing from here. Why is that?
Yeah, it's missing. You are asking if I destroyed any document?
No, I'm asking
the
you why.
answer is no.
Why didn't you put that in your letter?
I guess it wasn't required for me to put that. But, you know,
It wasn't required. No, it was required. It was in the document that they sent you, and you didn't sign this document. Mr. Cummings asked you a question.
Well, but
why
listen,
you didn't
you know,
sign
you are
this
talking
document?
about a document that I don't have. How could I answer the question?
I just read it to you.
I
took no intentional
I would like to have
action
it in
to
front of
destroy,
me and
delete.
have time to evaluate what you are asking. I cannot.
You haven't looked at this
Will the
document before?
gentleman, will the gentleman
I
yield
looked
for
at
just
probably
You want to give the document?
months ago.
Dr. Arasso, you're the one that gave that to us.
No, I didn't.
You didn't give us your,
No,
I'm
Mr.
not talking
Sullivan.
about the Inspector General's report, but
He's
your
talking
letter.
about Mr.
your
Sullivan's
letter.
document. I don't have Mr. Sullivan's document.
But you've seen the document that they asked you to
Probably
sign.
6 months ago, yes.
Okay.
Dr. Mori-Arasso, did you intentionally, or I guess unintentionally, destroy, delete, or remove any official
Will the gentleman
CSB email?
suspend for just a second?
Be happy to.
No, the answer is no.
Will the gentleman suspend for just a second? Dr. Arasso, the ranking member makes a very good recommendation. We think you ought to read the document right now. And I think that's a very fair request, Mr. Mulvaney, if you'll give it to him.
Thank you. So I guess you were asking about this last paragraph here.
Yes, sir.
Say the materials provided to the EPA are genuine, complete, and in full compliance with the request. I took no intentional action to destroy, delete, or remove any official CSB email communications in my possession. The answer to that question is that's correct. I absolutely never took intentional action to destroy, delete, or remove any official CSB communications in my possession.
All right, then I think we leave open for now, Doctor, the question that the ranking member asked you, which is why you didn't sign the document, but I appreciate that. Before we let you go, Mr. Ehrlich, you said some things just a few minutes ago that caught my attention. It was not part of my original questioning, but I'm fascinated by it. What is a scoping document?
A scoping document is a document that's used to determine the magnitude of an incident and from a numerical scale that's derived from it.
When did you learn that? When did you learn what a scoping document was?
Right after I came to the agency.
I'm looking at the motion that the gentleman from Georgia asked you about. It's, I don't know, 10 pages double-sided that you said you offered after being there for about 3 weeks. Is that correct? I guess let me ask a question a different way. Dr. Mori-Rosso, were you involved in drafting this document?
I have discussions with Mr. Ehrlich about different details of the document.
Were you involved in drafting this document?
Drafting it itself, no.
Did you instruct somebody to draft all or part of it?
I didn't instruct anybody.
You never asked anybody to draft any part of this amendment? Or this motion?
I never give instructions to anybody to draft that motion.
No, that wasn't my question. Did you ask anybody to work on this motion?
No.
Who did?
Mr. Ehrlich.
So this is just your work?
I worked with others on it because I needed to know the language and the format. I worked with the managing director and I worked with general counsel.